do the Lakers stay? No, let's bring this back, or do they think about the Kyrie option again, which had kind of gone away when they were winning these playoff
It
series?
just seems like such a terrible idea on every
I
level. Like
know,
it seemed like
I
what they
know.
had to do before, right? You just had to give something a try. It seems like such a bad idea, but I also think that where we're starting here begins with this question. What offer sheet is somebody willing to put in front of Austin Reaves, restricted free agent? Because this is not a situation where you could just let him walk and easily replace what you get from a 6'6" dude who can hit shots, hit them off the dribble, and play credible defense.
There's no way they're letting him walk because they've were absolutely had egg dripping from their chin on letting Alex Caruso walk. And Reaves, let's just be honest, he's their third best player.
Yeah.
He's their third best player. You can't let your third best player walk. Also, there's some restrictions on what he can be offered. He can be offered the Gilbert Arenas rule, Carlos Boozer rule, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. I think they're keeping him. But if they jettisoned D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley has a team option. They could just cut him. If they said we're not going to sign Hachimura, or like maybe tried to offer Hachimura in a sign and trade somewhere, they could. It would take a little bit of maneuvering, and Kyrie would probably have to not take the max, or they would have to work on something with Dallas. But they can get there. They can keep Reaves and get Kyrie if they make that a priority. They risk going right back to where they were before, which is a top heavy team that doesn't have, because one thing that they did have, they with Vanderbilt, with Hachimura, they added that they could play different ways. Darvin had different hands he could play, but I can just see Kyrie ready to come, and the feel on like, look, we got to the conference finals. Imagine if we replace Russell with Kyrie. I mean, the Lakers have fallen for this before.
Yeah.
So the way this is ending, I think it's increasing the chances of it happening.
So Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James, which one of them is more likely to play 65 games? Actually, let's take that down to 60 because 65 feels really ambitious.
That's and the guys thing. You're going to and the guys, by the way, who you're going to be filling in the gaps with are going to be guys on minimums.
Yeah.
You're going to be back out there in that game again.
And the thing with LeBron, we got to remember about aging, it increases at an increasing rate, right? Like there's not going to be a turnaround where there's like, I don't think you're going to get the Bill Walton 86 year where suddenly he plays like 76 games or something like that. How many games can you realistically expect from him? Anthony Davis, I mean, this will be year 12 for him next year. Like we lose track, I think, very often of how many miles and how old a lot of these dudes really are. And then you add Kyrie, who'll just find a reason not to play. Like anything that's going to happen, is some reason why he ain't got to play the next game. Maybe they'll be dumb enough to do this. Like I look at the Mavericks and I'm like, are you guys really going to be dumb enough to do this? And they are, because they kind of don't have any other choice.
Yeah, well, the Mavericks, they've got more, chips on the table. They're still holding what they invested to get them. But if the Mavericks, like the only thing I'll say about the Mavericks is if Kyrie says, hey, I'm going to the Lakers and I'll go to the Lakers for X, or you can trade me and get something back. I think the Mavericks, if they're put up against a wall, would probably have to cooperate. And that's one of the reasons why I've heard people float some Kyrie things to me, and I can't rule it out, because even though I know the Mavericks don't want to, they might have to, and that brings in more teams. And this is the thing, neither Kyrie, neither Kyrie or Harden are guys you should be crawling over glass to pay. But when you look at the free agent class, those are the two guys that are available. And I could see some teams crawling over glass to pay them. And I think that, Houston obviously is telegraphing they're ready to do it for Harden. And I could see the Lakers trying to do it for LeBron, because they'll say, this is, he got us the conference finals. What if in this game tonight, we didn't have a guy go 1 for 8 at the point guard position. What if we had Kyrie Irving? We'd have won. I can see them totally talking themselves into it and going, we didn't get anything out of Russell. We didn't get anything out of Vanderbilt. We'll find another way to replace Hachimura, and we didn't get anything out of Beasley. I can see them talking themselves into it. And it's what I was thinking tonight as I was watching this game play out, especially as the Nuggets just, put them down in the sleeper hold in the fourth quarter. I'm like, I could see it. And I know it's not something that Laker fans would want to hear right now, but I think it's going to be one of the big fallouts of this of the way this series has gone.
Yeah, this offseason is like the bizarro version of 2016 where everybody had money, but there was nobody to give it to. So Solomon Hill, changed his whole life and everything else, except this time it feels like the guys that are going to get this are guys that have already made hundreds of millions of dollars. Like James Harden now suddenly is primed for a score, even though if they were in, it could not have been a more damning indictment of the whole James Harden experience, what we just saw this season. And Houston, who has already been through this, is like, yeah, come on back. We'll do that. Oh, okay. That seems like a great idea. Kyrie Irving in a similar situation where I mean, what a league. That's just the whole thought I have as I see through all of this. Like the talent is spread out enough and there's just enough parity that everybody can really trick themselves into what might be some horrible ideas.
Yeah, I mean, paying James Harden $50 million a year over 4 years, which is what it seems like there appears to be an appetite for. I mean, it's insane. It's, I mean, I mean, but and that's the thing. Like they'll say about Kyrie, when Kyrie requested the trade, 4 teams hopped to. Like everything that happened in the last couple of years, everything that went down, everything he put the Nets through, 4 teams jumped up, and and I know that maybe not all 4 of them ended up making like bona fide offers. Like I don't think the Clippers at the end were really there, but like they brought it up, like they kicked it around. I'm pretty sure they talked to the Nets and exchanged some sort of conversation. So like when you think about that, that is the desire for that type of impact player or impact player from at some time is it's irresistible times.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.